Wolf Tick Nation, thank you guys for tuning in to once again another bonus Wolf Tick Videos episode. And what do we have here?
A puzzle.
Well, that's a puzzle, but this here is a Vanpowers Manadae Leadfoot Gray.
You scared about that? You could say manatee. I got all excited.
E-bike, 750 watt. We are fixing to do the initial impressions. We're going to put this bike together. We're going to weigh it. We're going to talk about it a little bit and let you guys know what all you can get from Vanpowers with their new e-bike. Alrighty? Yeah. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not part of the Wolf Tick Nation. And what do you say? Let's cut this thing open. Let's get into it.
Get off my hand!
Hello.
First thing I want to say is they sent us this to review, and there is no agreement. Just like always, we didn't get paid, and they don't have to approve anything first. It's whatever our opinions are.
Yep.
So,
and the links that you guys see for Vanpowers down in the description below, with non-affiliated.
Yeah, don't make any money if you buy it or not.
What you can count on, guys, is we're also going to be doing a real-time review on this bike. And that's where I ride it, right? You might ride it a little bit.
I'll probably do a little bit of riding.
People are going to jump on this thing, talk about it.
We might have a few people riding it, some guest riders.
Really curious to see what this thing weighs because, buddy, it was heavy. It was a task bringing it in here.
Yeah, it was a little bit heavy.
All right, guys, here we go. Vanpowers. Let's see what we get. Oh, right. Wow, that's something I'm not used to seeing.
Juggernaut.
I'm not used to seeing akin to Juggernaut, like a pretty well-known name brand tire on a e-bike. Now these are single-walled aluminum wheels, okay?
They don't have the drilled out deal on them.
No, they're not drilled out, but check out, pull that rotor cap off. There you go. That is a 203 millimeter rotor. Wow, that thing is super big.
It's large and in charge.
Wow, I like the tread on the tires. Yeah, they are directional, very cool. And we do have a front quick release. Now that's a big plus. All right, now this is something I was really curious with because the person that we were in touch with on the Vanpowers bike, what I was really excited about was you don't necessarily have a bike that you can take on the trails because all of yours are certain trails, because Wolfman over here is most of the bikes that he rides have the throttle.
Yeah, this
one here, they told me, hey, it doesn't have a throttle on there, so you should be able to take it on your trails, but this is what's very cool. It's an optional throttle.
There you go.
So it's about time that a company, and we'll see if this thing works with or without it, but this looks to be an optional throttle. And what I was saying I was excited about was the representative from Vanpowers that emailed us said, hey, it does not have a throttle on the bike, so you should be good to be able to take it on trail legally, you know, because a lot of trails do not allow you to run a bike that has a throttle on them.
Yeah.
Now we also got a whole bunch of tools here. We got some reflectors, even a Phillips screwdriver. And I will say a lot of times with the e-bikes in different setups like this, they send you all these tools and they're not the greatest, but if you're in a pinch or, you know, if you don't have a toolbox, most of the time you have enough stuff to put the bike together. We've got some aluminum pedals. Okay, Well-Go aluminum pedals.
Oh, I can't wait to see this whole bike. I will be digging the color from what I can see.
Now this is another thing. I know a lot of you guys out there want to know what this bike is all about as far as electronics go. It says that it has a smart charger, and this is it here, lithium-ion battery charger. Output is 54.6 volts at 2 amps.
Yeah, so it's pretty standard.
So it says that you can fully charge this battery for 7 hours, up to 7 hours.
Yeah.
5 levels of pedal assist. Top speed on this bike, 28 miles an hour.
Oh, really? Well, it's claimed.
That's what it claims. Detachable battery. You can get up to 70 miles on this bike, depending on what level of pedal assist that you use, which is a pretty big claim for such a big bike. Look at that.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Cool color.
You know, it's almost like they kind of made it look like a mid-drive a little bit.
A little fatter down there, everything smoothed over. All right.
Did you say smoothed it?
Smooth it over. We got a seat here. And it looks to have a 31.6 millimeter seat tube. All right, what do you say we take this thing out? Let's put it on the bike stand. Let's get this thing put together, and then we'll start talking about it.
Well, there's a few things I wanted to point out before we get too far.
Here, let's cut this out.
That's a 203 in the rear as well.
A 203 in the rear?
Yes, I'm excited about this. I use a lot of rear brakes.
You get this across the board with a lot more expensive bikes. And not to say this one's not expensive. This bike goes for $1,999.
Is there any kind of sales or anything?
But you guys can check out the links below and see if they send us any type of coupons for you guys. But what I was saying with the more expensive bikes, I like how it's internally routed. Check that out. Internally routed there, and then it pops right out for the mechanical disc brakes. Mechanical, not hydraulic. Yeah. Mechanical, just with or hydraulic would have set this thing off.
Yeah, 203 disc in the front and rear though. That sets it apart a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely does. 750 watt actual Bafang, you know. And the reason I say actual, guys, is a lot of the times with these bikes, they say Bafang, but there's no stamping whatsoever on the rear hubs that actually say Bafang. So this one does.
Does that make, so you're positive it's Bafang?
It says it on their site, and it says it right there, so I'm going with it's actually a Bafang. Alright guys, well here it is in all of its glory, the Vanpowers Manadae. One thing I do want to mention before we start talking about all the specking of the bike is the throttle that you guys seen. It does look like it's optional. There is a little portion underneath the zipper up there where you can actually connect that if you do prefer to have a throttle. It does have the Bafang rear hub, right? Just like we talked about, 750 watts with 85 Newton meter torque. So this thing should be able to pull you out of some pickles.
Hopefully.
Hopefully it does.
Pickles, but yeah.
Yeah. Now it has a max load capacity of 264 pounds, all right? That's 120 kilograms.
I'm pushing it on that one.
You're pushing on that
one. Might be a little over.
You're supposed to get 70 miles, okay, of battery life on this thing, which is pretty damn far.
Yeah. Now, normally it seems like we get about half of what it's rated.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Maybe a little more.
Realistically, and that's going to definitely be dependent if you're taking this thing on road, trails, which is more going to be over a trail bike. So, and Wolfman's going to be on it. So, we'll see if we get 70 miles. I highly doubt that. But before we go any further talking about this bike, let's do a little magnet test like we always do. This frame is aluminum. The seat post tube is aluminum. The crank arms, 170mm crank arms, are aluminum as well. The fork is a coil fork. It's steel, of course. They mostly all are. The bars and the stem are aluminum. All right, so there's actually... The rims are aluminum. Cool, so we got aluminum rims. There's a lot of...
Check the cranks?
Yeah, I just did. There's a lot of weight savings here, but we weighed this bike. It's
not necessarily weight savings because it's aluminum.
Damn thing's 70 pounds, right at it, okay? So it's a very heavy bike. Okay, now let's talk about the group set. Now it does have a Shimano 8-speed group set. Now it is the Shimano Acera rear derailleur back here. We've got a 12 to 32 tooth rear cassette, and on the front big chainring up here, it's actually a 44 tooth. And a very cool thing with this bike, unlike a lot of other e-bikes, is we actually have a quick shifter up there with a display, so you can actually see what gear you're in. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about the tires and the wheel set. Now, the tires are 26 by 4 inch Kenda Juggernaut tires. Alrighty, now what we were talking about earlier, it's kind of cool that it actually has a brand name on the tire, and just not something like most generic e-bikes do. So to have a brand name, pretty neat. The tread design does look...
You don't like Chow Yang's?
They're okay, but I prefer a name brand. We got that tire review video with the Kendas. I like Kenda tires, so we got the Kenda Juggernauts up there. The rims are aluminum, right? But they are only single-walled aluminum. The brakes, that's something I am really looking forward to, and hopefully this thing is quiet and it has really great stopping power, because both rotors, discs, are 203 millimeters. Now the brake levers and the calipers are unbranded. There's no brand on there. And now this thing is supposed to be for riders, or recommended for riders 5'4" to 6'2". You kind of are a little bit bigger than that.
A little bigger than that. But a little heavier in its capacity, a little taller, and that's what it's recommended for.
Yeah, but we're going to be doing the Wolfman dyno here in a little bit, and I don't know, maybe we'll give you a little feedback on how the standover is for him. Now, the handlebars are 720 millimeters long. The bars and the stem are both Uno branded, and the stem is 70 millimeters long with a 10-degree rise. The grips feel great. They are actually lock-on grips.
Are those double locking grips?
Yeah, double locking grips. And we're going to be taking a look at the bike computer here in a little bit, powering this thing on, seeing what kind of battery life it does come with. But that display up there is something a little bit different than what we're used to. Now let's talk about the fork. The fork is an RST coil fork. It does have a lockout and a preload option. We're going to be doing the Wolf Dad dyno here in a second, so you guys can kind of see how that thing performs. It's got 32 millimeter stanchions that are 32 millimeters wide, and exposed stanchion, not the amount of travel that it's got 108 millimeters exposed, okay? And what's cool is it's even printed on the inside of the lower on the fork. It's got 95 millimeters of travel. And I think we pretty much did a once over. Oh, one thing I did want to mention, you were talking about all the different mounting spots. Vanpowers on their site does offer a rear rack for this bike, and I forget how much it is, but the downside to this bike is it does not have a tail light. But the rack that it does come with on the site does have a spot for it to mount one all the way to the rear.
And now, I'll just get me some rear flashing light or something.
That'd be probably the safest bet. And it does have a really cool LED headlight that we're going to be messing with that does have a little reflector on it. All right, here we go.
Out of the box shifting.
Vanpowers. We are in first gear right now. Shimano Acero.
You ready?
Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth.
I'm not used to that 8th gear.
Wow.
You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's a full pull.
All right, 1, 2, 3. You are in 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. So we jump
And
3.
Pull.
All right, and we are in second. Wow, that's going to be.
It shifts decent.
Let me cut that brake. That's going to be really nice. Just doing the pedal assist, not having the throttle. You know, something that's that confident right out of the box, shifting like that.
No horn or bell.
We just did the shift test, and Wolfman's like, "Hey, this thing don't have a horn or a bell."
Yeah, I mean, it might have a horn that we don't know about, but it definitely don't have a bell, right?
No bell.
Hmm.
You know, another thing is we're gonna have to look at that computer and all that. Let's take a look at the computer. Let's power this thing on, see what kind of juice it comes with, and then we might do a little Wolf Dad dyno for you guys. So that's the power button over there. All right, what do we got? We got miles per hour.
Okay,
good.
Can we get it lit up? Is the question I have. Let's see. It starts to light up.
Hold that up button on.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do that.
Hold that up.
There
Bam.
we go. Oh.
Dude.
Yeah, we got the light.
Well, LED headlight on there. That's really cool. We got the little
reflector. Yeah, isn't that cool? And it's adjustable. You can adjust the reflector and the headlight.
Well, it's actually pretty bright. Cool. Okay. So anyway, back to the electronics. It is in miles per hour. I'm digging that big time. Okay. No miles on it.
I like the odometer 0. Some of them come in with someone and they're brand new, but I think because they're not real accurate.
Okay. And it does show.
It gives watts.
It does show that there's a light on. That's cool. Full battery. And we're going to charge this thing up before we do the real-time review. Eco.
Standard. Power. Speed.
That is cool. That's kind of neat,
There's 1 and then 0.
All right. And then let's do this test right quick. Put your finger, let's see, is right the rear?
Yes.
It is? Okay, good.
Yes.
Right's the rear, left's the front. You look pretty good on that bike.
Yeah, hey, I'm telling you, the seat's a little low right now, so it's not adjusted yet, but I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to this.
Okay.
I can't wait. I like when they have a tail light built in, but we can get something for that.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and we're going to do the
Wolfman.
We got to lock out the preload. We are opened up fully, so it should be the softest. Okay. And these preloads don't work the greatest, but let's see if this one does.
This one might be better.
Go ahead.
Well, it's not begun, man. You start me locked out.
Is it locked out?
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, it's soft, buddy.
Okay. Now we'll go...
It's soft.
We'll go a quarter or about halfway through in the middle.
Still feels soft.
Now we'll go full. Jeez, that's got a lot.
I don't think you were halfway, yeah.
All right, let's go. That's pretty close to full. It's got to be. Well, you're going less than the oil line.
Was it going less now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's for you to make sure.
All right, now that's full stiff.
All right. How's that compared to the others?
You've actually got 3 different levels of oil marks.
Okay, well maybe it does work to a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm impressed that it's an RST
we already
coil.
know, but let's. Yeah. I didn't even.
Dude, on a coil, most of the time on the coil you get just like a little bit of knocking, but that's impressive.
It seems pretty. It seems pretty good.
RST, baby. All right, guys, that was another
Wolfman Dyno.
I guess next time you see this bike, we'll be riding it and giving you our opinions and reviewing the heck out of it, and hopefully we'll have some guest reviewers as well. Hopefully you guys will, hope you already liked and subscribed, but if not, make sure you do that, and make sure you stay tuned, as you like to tell them, for the real-time review.